This week's dashboard, the Resident Evil showcase happened. Guys, obviously, I was super excited for it. 25th anniversary of Resident Evil's happened, so there was plenty to speculate on what could be here. Did you both watch it?
It was a bit of a weird one, wasn't it?
Did you watch it, or did you not? Did you miss it? Yeah,
I watched it and I was like, oh, okay, a lot of 8 stuff, a lot of demos, all coming out at different times. I don't really get it. And then I went to Twitter and they were like, they just announced Resident Evil 4
Oh,
in
you
VR.
missed
And I
it.
was like,
No,
well,
you
why
missed
wasn't
it.
that? in
There
there?
was. It was in there. So let me explain it to you, because you're a Sony pony, and we've now found that out about you, because you watched Sony's press conference, didn't you?
Press square.
Didn't
Press
you?
square.
What a muppet. You're a muppet. That's
He's
why.
out. Fix. We gotta cut that.
I'm ready for him to go. I'm ready for him to
start
go.
it up, just me and you.
Sony cut it out of their version,
Oh, weird. Okay.
and IGN's version and all the other people who were covering the full thing had it in. So I got to see Resident Evil 4 on the
Oh.
Oculus 2, the big announcement. While you scrubs, I watched Kind of Funny's reaction to it, and it just sort of abruptly ends. And I was just like, is that what they did? Like,
I'll
what
be
the
honest,
hell?
that's what I was watching. That's what I watched this morning.
Okay, devil's advocate, real quick. It 100% makes sense why Sony wouldn't want to show a
100%.
Oculus game.
Yes, it's exclusive.
It is very weird that they wouldn't like add an actual ending to it if it ends abruptly.
Again,
just
it's Sony, that little bit of arrogance, they're letting it slip. You know, Resident Evil 7 was on PSVR and it was a big deal.
Yep.
And now you've got a remaster of 4 coming to a VR unit that isn't PlayStation, and it's
I understand
honestly-
why they didn't show it. I totally understand it.
oh, of course.
I wouldn't be surprised if Facebook was like, "Here's a bunch of money, give us a game."
That's where it was.
100%. But also, like, we know Resident Evil 8 isn't on PSVR and isn't doing any VR stuff, and it's because PSVR can't keep up now. Like, and so if you're going to make an experience and you want it to be as good as possible, yes, put it on Quest 2 or an Oculus device. So,
Or Sony's planning to announce a new version of PSVR, and that announcement.
They are. They've
we'll
already
save
announced that.
up.
They've already announced that, so they're definitely going to. But this was definitely a case of Facebook went to Capcom, was like, what can we work on for you? And was like, what game would work? You got to think, the Wii is pretty much already there,
Yeah.
that version of the game. So if you can update that and then throw us in VR for it, perfect. There it is. Like,
it looks sick as well.
it looks like a VR game.
Fix's favorite Resident Evil game right there.
I hate
The
you
VR
guys. Let me
version.
get through the show.
He's probably
notes a bit.
excited for it.
So stuff that actually matters to this podcast, the Resident Evil Village demo, the new one with the action, is going to be out next week on all platforms. For Europe, May 2nd. For North America, May 1st. Don't ask me why. Asia, May 2nd
Time
as
zones.
well. No, but it's not time zones. It's just stupidness. Because it's 5
it's
p.m.
time
North
zones.
America, 2 a.m.
Yes, time
CST.
zones.
Bun that.
It's
Bun
literally,
that.
it's
Bun
literally
that.
time
I don't
zones.
believe in time zones. I don't believe in time zones, Crash.
It's literally time
Crash.
zones. What time do you think it is from you right
Crash. Yo, Crash. For you, it's 11:06 like it is for me.
now? Oh, you're right. Time zones don't exist.
They don't exist in my
Change
head.
the
I
time.
told you guys. Time zones don't exist. But yeah, Village demo is April 17th. The Castle demo is April 24th. You get to play it for an hour, I think they said. No, 30 minutes. Sorry, it's a limited time of 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm worried because this is already going to get hacked, which means you're going to be able to play it longer than that. Which means hardcore fans are going to find everything and know every single puzzle.
100%.
And I'm a bit worried. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah. That happened with the Resident Evil 2 remake, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So maybe they went through and they were like, we're going to add some precautions to this and stop people from doing that. Because Resident Evil 3 didn't work this way, correct?
Did we even get a demo? We did get a demo for free.
It had a
Yeah.
demo, yeah, but it
It
ended
was
at a
just that
certain
very
spot.
tiny,
Yeah.
sort of went to the donut shop and then ran back and then it sort of ended. That was kind of all it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Resident Evil. I love the demos. I don't get why they've done 2 lots of demos. I get one was like, have a look at the set pieces, and now we've got the action one, where I'm just a bit like, leave me wanting more. Don't give me too much. And as a Resident Evil fan, I can't not play it, so it's really hard for me.
I think with it being half an hour, it's not bad. Because
But
you have to remember,
I'm
like,
going to break it and get more than half an hour.
I understand, but for like with the Resident Evil 2 demo for me, like I don't know if I would have been as excited for that game had I not played for that demo.
Okay.
So I think you're viewing it from like the hardcore player perspective,
am.
from where the casual player, I think that 30-minute demo will be enough to get them into it and be hyped and excited for that.
Fair enough.
I don't understand it. I don't know who's on the fence about Resident Evil 8 and is thinking, "Oh, I'll play the demo," and then is being converted into a purchasing customer. I don't understand who that person is and why we need 12 demos for a game. And
12. It's only 2. All right, I'm not going to let you start. You come on
It's 3.
you come on this podcast,
Three.
Matt. You respect.
3.
Why is it 3?
It's 3.
It's
There's
3.
the showcase, there's the castle, and there's the other one.
2 parts of the demo.
It's okay.
2.5. It's
Technically,
2.5
you're right,
demos.
because I think you get an hour in total,
You
and
do.
if you want, you can
You
waste
can
that
spend the
whole
whole
hour
time
to
in the
one
castle. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's 2 demos. All right. Let's not do this. Resident Evil's
I'll give it to you.
lineage has always had demos. It's something that speedrunners learn to run. It's part of the history of Resident Evil. Like, I don't...
The
Did
one thing
5
that
and
actually
6 get them?
What?
No, I don't know 4,
Did
5,
five
and
and
6.
six
5
have
had
I
a
think 5
demo,
had
if I'm
demo.
mistaken. Yeah.
Okay, so they...
5 had a demo.
Oh, you're
think
right.
Six had a demo
they
as
did,
well.
They did. Resident Evil has all... I
Yeah.
think... Oh, I'm not saying that because I might be wrong. But I'm pretty sure most Resident Evil games have always had demos. So they're always going to do demos, all right? It's not that I don't get. I don't get the 8-hour exclusivity on PlayStation.
Yeah.
What
one
was
just
that
seemed
about?
Weird.
Just throw them any bone they can get, right? Like
There was also
keep
a
people happy.
circle jerk of developers, like, of just PlayStation. Why not introduce it as, our history is on PlayStation and blah, 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 and here are some of the PlayStation heads talking about it. Instead of, like, the best in the industry or whatever their wording was, and I was just like, this is just PlayStation people.
You want to know? I don't know. I feel like that comes down to like whatever deal they struck. Because I feel like if you want to do this whole segment of like we've been with Sony for that price probably goes up more than just it's
Probably.
PlayStation, calling PlayStation the best platform, being like that's where it's at first and whatever. Like hyping Sony up and like talking about that lineage definitely has a bigger price tag.
Probably.
I also...
Go on.
Sorry, go on.
No, please.
I was going to say, I want to take back a little bit what I said because they did encourage people to stream the demo. And
Yes.
so I get that. It's a good marketing ploy from that point
Oh,
of view.
yeah. We got the second story trailer, which mainly focuses on Ethan, a man we've never seen his face, and I still dislike him as a character. What did you guys think of the trailer? Did you enjoy it? Did it get you any more hype for it? It did nothing for me. As a big Resident Evil fan, it was just a bit like, oh, these. I like seeing more of the Lycans. I like seeing more of the werewolf stuff. I liked the whole him getting his hand cut and her drinking the blood from his hand. That was really cool.
They know
But-
what they're doing now. They know they're playing into that creepy,
Definitely.
horny audience.
Yes, definitely. But I could have lived without it. I could have been fine and just seen these moments for myself, especially the moment of him getting dragged across the floor. Like it's just not going to
Yeah.
hit the same. But the other part of me that says like, shut the hell up and just play the video game is they've said this is probably going to be the longest Resident Evil game to history. So maybe we're literally just seeing the openings of all this game. I don't think so.
I think they would brag about that if that was the case. They would say, hey, everything we've shown you so far happens in the first 2 hours of this
Would
25-hour long game, whatever.
I don't think they would, especially like if they want to keep suspense. They don't tell you. They wouldn't tell you that everything's in the beginning because you have to remember a big thing about Resident Evil is suspense. And if they reveal that all that stuff's in the beginning, then you expect it all in the beginning. Whereas you might see Ethan getting dragged or whatever, but you don't know when that's going to happen pop up. So there still is that sort of suspense factor of like when's this happening as
Okay.
opposed to like knowing everything.
Yeah,
I need to play 7. I need to get it
Dude.
downloading. I need to play it.
That's not even a question. Like, go and play 7. You've got time.
Do I
That
play it
game
in
can-
VR?
No,
Is there any point?
no.
Okay. I'm glad you
I've
said that
heard-
'cause I didn't want to break it out.
I've heard it's good in VR, to be fair.
I've heard it's fantastic in VR, but I've never played it. No, that's a lie. I did play it on VR, but at EGX. I just don't think that's an experience you can sustain in VR without it becoming too much. So I would just
I can't be
experience it
arsed.
on Game Pass, on your Xbox, get those achievements, enjoy it. Resident Evil Mercenaries returns to the series, which is nice.
That looks great.
It looks like it's been fledged out a little bit more than a normal mercenary mode. The good thing about this is just more content. That's the big thing for me. Where like Resident Evil is notorious for like you beat the game. If you're into speedrunning, you get a lot out of it, and if you're not, you're done with it. That's it. It's done. So I like the fact that we're getting, if the versus mode actually turns out to be decent, like the versus mode, and then you've got mercenaries mode. Like it just gives you that level of like building upon it. It looks like it's done well. You've got the upgrade system. It looked fun. At least to me.
I'm a little bit worried about Capcom jumping into adding multiplayer modes and versus modes and the mercenary mode and like really focusing on it. If it stays just to Resident Evil and if Capcom does it right, like I don't think there's a problem, but it just gives me like striking resemblance of like when developers were just throwing multiplayer into everything and like, hey, we don't know if this will be good or bad. Here's just another feature to buy our game, where I feel like you take away resources from like what might be the main attraction of that game.
Mercenaries has actually been good in previous Resident Evil games, to give credit where credit's due. But I agree with you, Resident Evil 6 had that, where it was like, here's a versus mode, here's a mercenaries mode, here's a time mode, and you're like, what the is this crap? And it had achievements, which was even worse. But yeah, I don't feel too bad about this, just because Mercenaries has been gone for a long time. So it's nice to have it come back. And the way it looked like it was done right. It had a few things I didn't like. I didn't like the health bar above the enemies in this. That takes away all of the suspense if you know when an enemy's about to die. Like, unless you're like a nerd like me who
I'd assume you
knows
can
this
probably
many
turn
shots.
it off.
Yeah, hopefully. I'd hope so.
Yeah.
I'd hope so. But yeah, I'll definitely give it a try.
And just to be fair, I wasn't like necessarily just referencing the mercenary mode.
No, yeah.
'Cause I think with the way you talked about what's the
Versus.
Versus. Literally.
versus. I was like, it's something, yeah. Versus the way you're talking about that, it seems like they're taking the right steps for these games. It's just they're walking into murky territory if they start doing this with all their games and trying to fit modes into all their other games.
As somebody who hasn't played 7, that Mercenaries trailer bit got me quite hyped. It gave me sort of Call of Duty Zombies vibes, and I've been enjoying that recently-ish. Nothing like that?
No.
Or you just don't like Call of Duty Zombies?
No, Call of Duty Zombies is... You're talking about new Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. No, this is nothing like that. This is going to be... You're going to get a time limit, and you have to work your way through the map to get to the end in a certain time. Whether you go to the shop and upgrade guns along your journey, picking up health and stuff like that, that's what it is. But it's going to be more linear than what a Zombies is, because Zombies, especially the new Zombies, is super open, big area. At least, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think this is going to be very much tighter corridors, tighter areas, and you're going through those.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I was also watching it, wishing it was multiplayer. But
no.
yeah, jump in with you and run through that.
Definitely not.
Fix would be like, you'd ruin my experience. This is supposed to be my alone time with my favorite franchise. What are you doing?
Bro, do you know how angry I was when they added co-op to 5? It hurt. The last thing that mattered for us anyway, you both suck, I'm not talking about it. Resident Evil Dead by Daylight collaboration was announced as well. Dead by Daylight is getting a collaboration event with Resident Evil. Behavior Interactive will reveal the Resident Evil chapter on May 25th during the Dead by Daylight 5th anniversary stream. The Collabro chapter will be released in June. Give me Nemesis as a killer. Or Tyrant. That would be dope.
There was a little audio hint at the end of it. It just sounded like a zombie.
Yeah, I don't want just a zombie. I want Nemesis or
it would
Tyrant.
be bizarre if it was just a zombie.
Yeah, I don't think it would be a zombie. It would be something big. Make it Wesker. Just throw it completely left field. Make it Wesker.
Anyone but Wesker.
Resident Evil 5 Wesker.
He'd be OP as fuck, let me tell you. I really want an excuse to go back to Dead by Daylight, because we actually played a fair bit of it, Crash. Me, you, Haley, FNH Paul played with us. Matt, you'd love it. Like, I've
never touched it. Yeah.
It's a fun experience. It's a really fun experience. And anything that can get me in. They did the Silent Hill collaboration not too long ago. So I'll definitely be jumping back in to get whatever it is, the charms and stuff. So we'll play it on Xbox, and you can join us. It'd be fun.
I'm down.